How are you, everybody? You have a good weekend? Ready to roll? Preseason number 1 in the books for the NFL. NBA schedule comes out this week. And so happy to have you here on If You Don't Like That. The big week last week right here on the channel. Can't wait as we are getting closer to September 2nd. Can't wait. Can't freaking wait. How about 3 weeks from tomorrow? 3 o'clock. Fox Sports Radio, Sacramento. Then when I get off the air, I'll get something to eat and do this show. Love it. Absolutely love it. Cody, you really want to talk about Shedeur Sanders? Seriously? Like, why? Why? There's nothing that's more ridiculous than the overreaction to a quarterback in the NFL preseason. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm a Browns fan or a Browns management coach, of course I want Sanders to play well. But here's what I looked at this weekend. I watched Jackson Dart play for the Giants. I watched Cam Ward play for Tennessee. I didn't watch that much more than that, other than the 49ers. And all three, to me, look like they belong. In other words, I can look at Sanders, I can look at Dart, and I can look at Ward, and I can say, yeah, you know what? I can see them being able to play in the NFL. But I am not going to be one of these absurd media types that looked at Sanders or Dart and how well they played and go gaga. And if anyone knows that, it ought to be the Cleveland Browns, who watched Tim Couch be all world in the preseason. And then when the bell rang in the regular season, he looked lost. Okay? Do you know how many quarterbacks are more like Tim Couch than the other way? You're going against defenses that don't game plan for you, that don't scheme for you, who, I mean, the difference in defense in the preseason to the regular season is night and day. It's night and day. I know, Cody. I know that. Cody said I just wanted to ruffle your feathers, but I was going to get to this anyway. So even though you started it, it was going to be my lead for the show today. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. I use the analogy with the Summer League. If you're going to be able to play in the regular season of the NBA, you better look good in the Summer League. That was the case with the Kings' top draft picks, right? Nate Clifford, Max Reno. They look like they can play against mostly non-NBA competition. Let's see what happens when the real show starts in October. But again, it looks like they have a promising future. But ... So let's not go overboard with this stuff. Says, oh man, don't remind us of Tim Couch. You remember how good Tim Couch was in the preseason? You remember that? I didn't mention Johnny Manziel because Johnny Manziel didn't really play that well in the preseason, so I didn't really mention him, or at least to my recollection, he didn't. I'm just curious. Do you remember Tim Couch? Do you remember how dynamite he was during the preseason? Right? Incredible. Could use some Bennett's right about now. Me too. I can always use Bennett's, and I can't wait to get there in 2 weeks. I did see that. Henderson with the first kickoff returning for New England. I don't go by what any team did in the preseason, whether they played great or played poorly. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Nothing. It means nothing. Just means absolutely zero. The only thing that matters in the preseason, how many injuries do you have? Nothing else matters. Nothing. Nothing else matters. How did your preseason go on the injury front? I'm looking at like the injury list after the preseason games this weekend. And, if I'm a fan of certain teams, I'm already a little bit nervous. Now, it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles avoided a catastrophe with Landon Dickerson, their outstanding right guard. Okay. He's going to undergo what they're calling a minor procedure on a meniscus injury in his right knee. And they are very hopeful that he'll be back Thursday night in the opener against Dallas. I could see him missing that game because then after that, I'll have 10 full days to get ready for week 2. But that was a very scary moment for the Philadelphia Eagles. But if you lose him, that would be brutal. And we're already seeing significant injuries around the National Football League. Yeah, I did see that. They're running back Madison for the season. A lot of guys are already done for the season. All right. Grant, finding depth matters, especially if that position is up for grabs. Preseason does matter in certain teams. You're right. I don't disagree with that. But I'm just saying on the whole, we put way too much into it. Yes, of course it's important to see if backups can play or not. You're absolutely correct. 100% correct. 100% correct. Let's just leave it at that. Question. During my time broadcasting for the Kings in the 2015-16 season, did I observe about the dynamics between George Karl and DeMarcus Cousins? Any specific incidents or tensions that stood out to you? Yes. DeMarcus berated George, treated him like a piece of dirt, showed him up, embarrassed him, was suspended for it. That's what I remember. As far as the comments that Nancy Lieberman made, I don't really have a lot of comment on that. That was a bad situation when Nancy was with George, and I've heard that Nancy's been in a lot of bad situations in other stops along her NBA career. So I don't really want to get into that. Any thoughts on ESPN NFL deal where ESPN acquires some NFL intellectual property and the NFL acquires a 10% stake of ESPN? I don't give a damn. You know what I care about? Are the games on when I want to watch them? That's all I care about. I don't care about deals. They don't mean anything to me. Well, I'm going to watch the NFL. Whatever I have to do, I'm going to watch the NFL. I don't care what deals the networks make. Am I able to watch the games or not? That's what I care about. Seriously. That's what I care about. Plain and simple. Says Lieberman claimed that George Karl exhibited racist behavior in team meetings and has influenced Cousins' exclusion from the NBA today. As someone around the team, what's your take on those accusations? Baseless, stupid, embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Seriously? BJ, what's going on, buddy? That's my reaction. It's baseless, stupid, embarrassing. Seriously, I didn't even hear that. Blaming him for his exclusion of the NBA. He has no one to blame but himself. Every stop that he went to, every single one, they wanted to get rid of him. New Orleans wanted to get rid of him. The Warriors couldn't wait to get rid of him. The Lakers, the second visit by the Nuggets. Oh, he's back with Michael Malone. Oh, what a great. Oh, he's going to. Guess what? Michael Malone didn't want him back after that year. The Nuggets didn't even make an overture to him. They didn't even want him back. They didn't even talk to him. Why do you think that is? Incredible. Will I get Peacock just to watch an NFL game? I won't. It depends. Depends what game it is. It depends what game it is. Is there any news about my lawsuit? It's in the Ninth District Court of Appeals. Does the radio gig affect it at all? No, it's not related in any way, shape, or form. DeMarcus Cousins, the big dark cloud. It's a pretty good way to sum it up, Cody. Not a bad job right there. What's up with Peacock? I don't know. I haven't really followed it. I just, when the time comes, I'll watch the games and I'll figure out how to watch them. Seriously. I'll figure out how to watch them. Same thing with, on Amazon Prime. And, if I want to watch the game, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch the games. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm not that worried about it. Like I would hope that all of us have the ability to watch what we want. I don't know, BJ. You'd have to look that up. I don't know how much a game is. I don't know if it's better than the NFL ticket or you. I really have no idea. If Michael Malone didn't want DeMarcus Cousins the second time, that says something. Well, he didn't. He didn't. The Nuggets didn't want him back after the second visit. That was pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. All right, glad to have you with us. We're talking NFL. The NBA schedule comes out. And once the schedule comes out, we'll be able to go over it, analyze it, and get a good feel for what are going to be the real difficult stretches during an NBA season. One way or another, Grant, you're right about that. Yep. I love the NFL. I think you love the NFL. But preseason to me is a joke. It's just the media attention towards preseason football is absurd. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, and I would say one thing about preseason, okay? If I'm a 49ers fan, I got to be very concerned with the line of scrimmage right now. And let me tell you, if Trent Williams were to go down, which has been the case the last couple of years, you got major problems on that offensive line, which is sketchy to begin with. You better hope that Trent Williams is able to line up in week 1. And you better hope that Trent Williams is on the field for the majority of the year, because if not, I see real problems. And defensively, I see real problems up front. And I haven't made my predictions yet, but I'm not picking the Niners to win the division. I'm going to tell you that right now. I know a lot of people are. I'm not. Their defensive line's not as good, and their offensive line to me has got some problems. I think that's going to be an issue. Said I watched golf more than I did preseason football yesterday. How about Tommy Fleetwood and his demise once again? I don't understand how Tommy Fleetwood has the most top 10 finishes of anyone ever without winning a tournament. And I'm thinking yesterday with 4 holes left, it's finally going to happen. 2-shot lead. He's playing great. It's finally going to happen. I will say one thing in the defense of Fleetwood. He's a tough guy to root against. He's classy. Did an interview with Damon Hack right on the course for NBC. Went into the media room, answered all the questions. It would have been easy to pull a Rory McIlroy and bolt. It would have been easy to pull a Colin Morikawa and bolt. Not Tommy Fleetwood. He faces the music. I give him a lot of credit for that. If anybody had a right, I guess you could say, to blow off the media yesterday in the first round of the FedEx playoffs, it was Tommy Fleetwood. But no, he answered every question, and I give him a lot of credit for that, a lot of respect. And I'll tell you, I'm rooting for him this week at the second stage, and I'll root for him in the Tour Championship. I would love to see him win, and I don't care if he beats an American. I would love to see Fleetwood win one of the next 2 weeks. Would love it. I have a lot of respect for a guy that faces the music for that. Dennis says, I was expecting the second, third pick easily, offensive line, and even the fourth pick. I think they got some problems, Dennis. I think they've got some problems. We'll see how Brock Purdy is when the team talent isn't on the top. Well, you saw how Patrick Mahomes was in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay without his two starting tackles. Do you remember that, James? You remember that? When Brady won the Super Bowl with Tampa and the Chiefs had both starting tackles out? Guess what happened in that game? The best quarterback currently in the National Football League was not able to score a touchdown. It's a team game. New York media went overboard on preseason based on the lousy play of the Mets and the Yankees. In fact, I couldn't care for MLB myself. Listen, New York media is always going to go overboard. But it's not going overboard like they are in Cleveland. And Jackson Dart was very good. And the media is not blowing it completely out of proportion. Same with Justin Fields. Same with Fields. I mean, you got to be careful not to go this crazy over a preseason game. Just don't. How do I view the accusations of racism against Karl in light of your own experience with similar accusations after your All Lives Matter comment? Well, first of all, and I'm getting tired of talking about this, but I will, Dennis, because I respect you. I've been blessed to travel to a lot of different countries over the last 5 years. And when I tell people, once I meet and they ask me about my background and what I do, when I tell them my story, here's their reaction. I don't understand. I don't understand. You got fired for saying all lives matter? What's wrong with that? Do you know that's not an issue anywhere else in the world, pretty much? It's only an issue in America. To some, not many. Most of you know that I moved to South Florida. The majority of my friends there are people of color, African Americans, Black, people of color from the Caribbean islands that aren't African American, aren't Black. I've had all these conversations, hours and hours and hours of these type of conversations, sitting down at a table, dinner, drinks, whatever. I've had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of conversations on these topics, honestly. And do you know that among my friends in Miami, predominantly of color, do you know only one person out of many, many, many thought that saying all lives matter was wrong? None of my other friends or people that I met that weren't my friends, but just casual acquaintances out and about, didn't have a problem with it and thought that what happened to me was ridiculous. And here's another thing that I learned, which I had no idea. Many of my Black friends are embarrassed by Black Lives Matter, and they don't want anything to do with it. So, like, instead of just spewing opinions, my comments are based on actual experiences with people of different ethnicities. I've talked to many people about this. I ran into a friend the last time I was in Thailand who does a lot of business in Dubai. He's a world traveler, but does a lot of business in Dubai. And I saw him at the place that we frequent where most of the expats hang out at. And he said, "Oh, I'm so happy I saw you, Grant. You're not going to believe this." I said, "What?" He goes, "I was just in Dubai and I was sitting with a group of 15 people at a business meeting after dinner, and they were talking about all lives matter and Black Lives Matter, and they didn't understand it. They thought it was just ridiculous." And I said, "Oh, I've got a friend. You won't believe this. who's from America that lost his job because he said all lives matter. And my friend said, "You're not going to believe this. These people at this function I was at knew your story." And they said, "Oh, is that the basketball announcer?" This is Dubai. Dubai. Halfway around the freaking world. They didn't have a problem with it. So to answer your question, Dennis, I personally never saw any situations where I raised my eyebrows as it related to anything dealing with racism. That's just my stance. I also find it very difficult that when you look at a body of work that stems from the 80s of coaching in the NBA, that all of a sudden in our woke culture of 2025, allegations of racism are coming towards George Karl. Now, I understand his beef with Kenyon Martin. I understand, but listen, if you coach for as many decades as Karl, you're going to have players that don't like you. Gary Payton swears by the man. And many other players that played for him. Nate McMillan, Sean Kemp. I mean, I can go on and on. Now, all of a sudden, in 2025, we're going to paint George Karl as a racist? Seriously? I'm sorry, I got to have some more evidence. Said, Grant, Clay Travis always had your back. Nice of you to do the interview with him first. Well, I did the interview first with Marcos Berton of the Sacramento Bee. And the second interview I did was with Clay Travis. So that was my first national interview. But thank you. Thank you very much. Dennis says, here, Grant. Thank you. You got it, my friend. I didn't get it either. I don't know what else to say. Hey, Grant. Love your show. Did you see the NASCAR driver fall out of his car, break his collarbone? Painful to watch. I did. And I will share with you, this was about 25 years ago, maybe longer, maybe 30 years ago. I got asked, I think it was, I can't remember if it was at Springfield, Illinois. That would have been 35 years ago, or in Sacramento. I can't remember. So forgive me for this. I want to say it was Sacramento. We had a chance as a media member to race a stock car. And I'll never forget doing that. And to this day, you know what the hardest thing was? To get in and out of the car. I'm not exaggerating. And this is back when I was 30 years old. And I'm not kidding you. I remember the most difficult thing to do was not drive the car. I had my fireproof suit on. I had the helmet, everything. Do you know what I have a picture of me getting out of the car, by the way. Do you know that was the most difficult thing for me to do? Yeah, that was horrible. That was a horrible scene at Watkins Glen. Horrible. Just brutal. Man, that was bad. Very bad. Ed, how are you in Chile? Everything going well, buddy? Love you, man. Hope you're doing well in South America. Appreciate your message. Said, Kevin John at ABC 10 owes you a huge apology. That crap station let him go on a rant live after you got fired. He is one racist POS. I didn't hear that. So I can't really comment on that. All right, because I didn't hear it, and I don't like to comment on things that are said about me unless I can validate it. So thank you very much. I want that picture. Prove it. I've got it on my phone. Let me see. Hang on a minute, Dennis. I think I have it on my phone. If not, I'll tell you what, Dennis, because I don't want to sit here and look at my phone the whole time when I'm doing a show. I will try to find it, and then tomorrow I'll put it on the stream, and I'll put it full page so you can see it. All right? Why don't we do that? Instead of me sitting here trying to find the damn thing, let me do that, all right? Said, with my deep history covering the Kings, how much of your new show will dive into Sacramento's NBA scene, and what other local sports teams or events are you excited to spotlight? Well, first of all, I'm going to go heavy duty on the Kings. I still have a lot of contacts with the Kings. I have a lot of contacts in the NBA, coaches, players, referees, broadcasters, and Sacramento is a Sacramento Kings crazy area. Of course, I'm going to spend a lot of time on the Kings. I had a very nice conversation with Mike Bibby today, the new head coach of Sac State, and I will be promoting what Mike Bibby is doing, because I think Mike's going to take Sacramento State to big places. So I'll be jumping on that, because I think that, Mike is a guy that was made for this. Like, he was built for this, to take a program that doesn't have any relevance and make it into something. Like, if anyone can do it, Mike Bibby's going to do it. And I'm excited for Mike. I have a lot of respect for Mike, and I was very happy to reconnect with him today. I'll be going heavy duty NFL like I always have. Sean Salisbury will be coming on with me every week, among other guests. We're going to be doing a lot of things. So yes, I'm going to go heavy duty, Kings, NFL, points of interest, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And I'm also very good friends with Jim Les, the head coach of UC Davis basketball. So, I'm going to give him ample opportunity to promote what he's doing there, because, he's done a hell of a job at UC Davis. So, we got local football. I'm going to get into it. Joe Davidson of the Sacramento Bee I've connected with. Joe does a phenomenal job with the Bee. And when there's the big high school games, I will be having Joe on to talk about that and some other things of local interest. I think Joe's is great. I have a lot of respect for Joe, a lot of respect for him. So he'll be coming on. So we'll be doing a lot of things. All right, so here's an interesting question. Will I be doing interviews with the Kings player staff? Probably not the staff, because we're not the flagship station. But we will be having interviews with the staff from practices and press conferences that Ryan will be at. Does that make sense? So we will have the staff and the players on our show on a regular basis. It won't necessarily be them calling up and me interviewing them one-on-one, but Ryan will be at the practices, we'll be getting sound, and you will hear all of that on my show. Good? John says, Mike Bibby coming to be coach at Sac State will be great. I'm with you. Said, looking forward to listening and potentially calling Apes. So excited for you to be back. Thank you, buddy. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I can't believe 3 weeks. 3 weeks from tomorrow. All right. Fox Sports, 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Fox Sports Radio, KSAC. Hey, I'm ready to roll, man. I am pumped. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, PJ. Ryan gets to go in the Kings mini room. He certainly will. He's my producer, and he's an on-air contributor. He will have full access, like other people in his position in the market. Absolutely. Yes. No doubt. John says, Jim Lester is one of your best interviews every time you interviewed him or had a conversation with him on your show back in the old days, Grant. I can't wait. I love Jim. Yep. Love him. Dennis wants to know, are there any new technologies or interactive features like social media or live polls you're planning to use to engage listeners during your 3 to 6 p.m. slot? That's a fabulous question, Dennis. We have many meetings beginning Wednesday, leading up to the debut of September 2nd. I can't answer that right now because I don't know, but I think that, yes, I mean, we're going to try to be innovative and use everything at our disposal to promote and make it the best show possible. Can I share the link of your interview? Yes. Yes, you can. Thank you. I am going to reach out to Charles Davis. I don't know yet. Don't know yet. Dennis does ask great questions. You're right about that, Cody. You're absolutely right. No doubt about that. And I appreciate the questions. I also appreciate New Works Plumbing. They've got a fixed view. They're available 24/7 for your plumbing repairs and your plumbing needs. You've got the information on your screen, or newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. I will be in Sacramento in 2 weeks. I'll be debuting the show 3 weeks from tomorrow. Still can't believe it. I'm pumped. Can't believe it. We're going to have a couple of new segments on my show. We'll be doing a Grant's Rant. On Fridays, I'll be doing a pick four with Rhino, where he picks 4 games and I pick 4 games against the number. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that throughout the season. So we're going to be doing a lot of different things here and there. Primarily, I want to hear from you on the show, and I'm going to have good guests, and we're going to go back and forth. It's going to be very interactive, and I'm very, very excited about that. How about a motorsports analyst, Grant, since Fox airs both NASCAR and IndyCar? Probably not. Probably not. I don't see the interest enough to spend a whole segment on it. That's just my opinion from doing a radio show in Sacramento since the mid-90s. I rarely got any questions on motorsports. So, no. I don't think so. Oscar, thank you very much. Can't wait to have you back like old times. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. BJ, you like that transition, buddy? Smooth? Thank you, man. I'm glad you noticed that. I'm glad you noticed that. You know, Cody, how long have we been hearing about Russell Westbrook? Seriously. Says league sources consider the Kings the most likely destination for Westbrook. ESPN reporting. And they said if that's the case, Westbrook would likely come off the bench. My question is, how many guards are you going to have on your team? I mean, come on. Dorian, how are you? We're all excited for you, Grant. Love you, brother. One day closer to September 2nd, one day closer to Kings opening night. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very close. Man, going to be here before you know it. Going to be here before you know it. We are getting closer. College football, close. NFL, close. NBA season, close. And I am very close to getting some great food at Bennett's, because I will be in Sacramento in 2 weeks. And you better believe I will be at Bennett's, whether it's Sacramento, Roseville, or the West Side Grill. Bennett'sRestaurants.com to make a reservation. Don't forget about their Taste of Summer menu. Great deals on entrees. They have some new appetizers with tremendous prices. You go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Bennett'sRestaurants.com to make a reservation and more. Now, I got to be honest with you. All right. I'm in Thailand for 1 more week. And I am spoiled with how inexpensive it is to go eat here. So I got to get my mind right when I get back into the States next week that I'm not in Thailand anymore, and I'm not going to be able to go out and get lunch for $1.50 that's delicious. That I'm not going to be able to go on the street and get my thing mo, which is watermelon, cut up fresh right in front of me for 20 baht, 33 bahts a dollar. And it's like a big portion. They cut it right in front of you, 20 baht. Same thing with the papaya, 20 baht. Pineapple, 20 baht. The mango, which I've never experienced eating mango like here in Thailand. It is absolutely unbelievable. Cut it up right in front of you. Yeah. I'm getting spoiled. That's my problem with being here. I'm getting spoiled. So inexpensive here. It's unbelievable. I hear Kirk Cousins looking a lot better than Michael Penix. You know, Cody, if you look at Kirk Cousins last year, he actually played very well until he took the hit to the shoulder and arm. That's when his decline started. He's still a very good quarterback. But, I mean, I think that page has turned, right? I think that page has turned. I mean, I'm looking at that division. I think Carolina will be a little bit better. I'm not sold at all on New Orleans. I think they're going to be fighting with Carolina for 3 and 4. It's either going to be Tampa or Atlanta. And right now I got to give Tampa the edge. The mangoes here in Thailand, it's unfreaking believable. It really is. Dennis, you're asking a lot of questions that I can't answer. Are there any plans to highlight local sports heroes or unsung stories from Sacramento's past to inspire fans tuning into your show? Dennis, I appreciate all your questions. Okay. And I don't want to sound cocky or arrogant. People are going to tune into my show because they know I'm going to be opinionated. They know it's going to be fast moving, hard hitting. All right. Now, would I be able to attract some more fans if, for instance, I did what you suggest? Perhaps. But I know what the nuts and bolts and the meat and potatoes are of successful radio in Sacramento because I've done it for so long. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. Like talking about baseball in Sacramento, even though the A's are playing there, is going to get people to turn the dial. People want the NFL and they want the Kings. And they want opinions, and they don't want sugarcoating, and they want passion. That's what the vast majority of fans want that will be tuning into me, and that's what I'm going to give them. Now, I'm on 3 hours every day. Will there be times to do a segment on UC Davis? Yes. Will there be time to do a segment on Sac State? Yes. Okay? But I got to be realistic about this. That doesn't move the needle in Sacramento Sports Talk Radio. And my goal and my job is to keep people listening to my radio show. So that's first and foremost. That's what I have to do. Never been to Thailand. Can an American work there for a few months, like medical jobs, etc., or you have to come back within a short time? It's a great question. There are all types of visas available. I have friends that have work visas. I don't know what the criteria is to get them. There's a 60-day tourist visa, and then when you're here, you can get it extended for 30 days. If you're over 50, you can get what they call a non-O retirement visa, which is good for 12 months. You have to meet certain criteria, but it's not that hard. So there are a lot of different visas available. How long is my visa good for in Thailand if I just show up? 60 days, but I have a 1-year non-retirement O visa. But it's good for 60 days. What crazy person gave Grant a radio show? You are right about that, PK. You are right about that. Absolutely. Love it. I love this, Dennis. As the Kings lost the Fox, we gained a Fox back. Very well said. Brett Bradley Beal thinks he can get a ring with the Clippers. Well, you better hope that they trade James Harden. They better hope that they trade James Harden if you want a ring. Because if not, I don't see it happening. All right. Yes, to get the 1 year, you have to be 50, at least 50. So good question. Good question. I would suggest if you're interested, just go online and Google Thai visas, and I think you'll be able to get a much better explanation than I'll be able to give you. But I can give you a good explanation about Sunrise Landing in Calusa, one of the newest residential communities you'll find in the area. And if you go to calusasunrise.com, you can check out all of the beautiful models, 6 in all. I mean, look at these floor plans. Look at these beautiful, beautiful rooms. No Mellorews, no homeowners, okay? Adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club. Easy to get to, I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. It's all there for you in beautiful Calusa. Go to calusasunrise.com, a Blazona development project. That's where Sunrise Landing is in Calusa. Again, calusasunrise.com for all of your information. All right, NBA schedule is coming out soon. We'll be going over that. Don't forget that I will be coming on again tomorrow at 7 o'clock right here if you don't like that. And just so you know, most of my shows beginning in September right here on YouTube will be at 7 o'clock. There will be times during the year where that changes because of the Kings when we do all of our post-game shows and all of our Kings programming. But my podcast and my shows on X and YouTube, for the most part, will be at 7 o'clock Pacific because I'll get off the air at 6. Give me a chance to grab something to eat, calm down a little bit after yelling at people, and then be right back at 7 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to that. All right? Looking forward to that. Mark Price would rip up today's point guards. Yeah, he sure would. Man, could you imagine him today with the three-point line the way it is? Oh, boy, you're right about that. Can you imagine Mark Price, longtime Cleveland Cavalier, playing today? Man. Oof. Wow. I wish De'Aaron Fox made his free throws like Mark Price. Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Travel advice here. If you're staying in Thailand for fewer than 30 days, a visa isn't required. You need a valid passport that's unexpired for at least 6 months. That's correct. So if you're just coming on vacation, you don't need to do anything other than you need to go online and you have to do like a digital, hi, I'm coming to Thailand. It takes 2 minutes so that when you land, you show a QR code and you get a 30-day, I think it's a 30-day stamp, maybe even a 60-day. They keep on going back and forth from 30 days to 60 days. But if you're here less than 30 days, you don't need to do anything other than to go online, fill out that form, takes 2 seconds. You get a QR code and you're able to roll. You're able to roll. All right. Any chance for a reunion with Doug Christie as a guest? That's up to Doug. You know, if he wants to apologize to me, I'm a man of forgiveness. And if he wants to sit down and apologize to me, I'll be more than happy to talk to him. What else we got here? Thank you, John. Appreciate the support that we're going to be doing an unbelievable job. Yours truly and Rhino. Man, Rhino's killing it. Very proud of him. How would Grant Hill have been if he didn't get hurt? Tremendous. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I mean, he was very talented. Great guy, too. Great guy. All right, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, right back here. If you don't like that. And if you're joining us late, no problem. Go back and watch it at your convenience. And don't forget, September 2nd, Fox Sports 104.7 FM, 890 AM, Fox Sports Radio. And remember, you can download the Fox Sports KSAC app. All right? Play Store or wherever I have Android, so I use the Google Play Store. Fox Sports KSAC app. All right? Download it. You'll be all up to speed on everything. PK says, Cody, I don't really know anything about Mark Price's career. Just play with him golf on a few occasions. That's good. His career, he could shoot the lights out. He was a very, very, very good point guard. Very good. Like, excellent. All right. See you tomorrow, everybody. Appreciate you. Good start to the week. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Can't freaking wait. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Talk to you tomorrow right here on If You Don't Like That.